first question is, what are your top 3 issues and why?
It's kind of difficult to look at the situation and come up with only 3 top issues. Life is complicated, education's complicated, having the respect to the voters by being a trustee, that's complicated. I've tried to basically narrow it down to 3 different things that I think impact not just our children, but society as a whole. First of all, we need to teach children how to take a test. We take all these standardized tests, 12 years of education, and we wonder how to improve various elements of life, and yet students go through life never being taught how to take a test. So I think it's a deficiency that we do not teach our youth how to take a test. Second part is dedication and responsibility. These are 2 facts that we must teach our youth. It seems to be missing in today's world with such a high rate of speed of trying to make a living and coping with each other and all the confusion that seems to bury itself. By dedication and responsibility, we understand that through responsibility, people can mature, they can develop emotionally, and they can basically dedicate themselves towards success, which is a major element that is missing in today's society. So often, children graduate high school, they go to college, and we hear all kinds of explanations. They are now living with their parents, they're afraid to be self-starters, they must send back and ask for assistance, and oftentimes they cannot answer the most simple basic element of balancing a checkbook or being able to communicate properly to obtain a job. We need to enhance responsibility and cause dedication in these students. And by doing that, we develop emotionally, psychologically, and definitely ability in these students in the future. Third element is communication. People seem to have forgotten what the element of communication really is. A communication is nothing more than taking an idea and passing that idea to someone else without losing any energy or thought. Today, we have people that cannot communicate. Why? Maybe they haven't been taught. Maybe they have not been given the opportunity to learn. We need to have teachers accept responsibility as teachers, administrators accept the responsibility as administrators, and listen to those teachers who communicate well with the students. And when we have behavior problems, that is when we need to understand and put into play those elements of responsibility that's going to cause that child to be success. And in very simple terms, that's called communication.
Name one goal you will want to accomplish within the first year.
I like the question, name one goal. But again, how can life, how can an action, how can a deed be summarized by one statement? To me, to specify one goal when a person's elected for a 3-year term into the trustee position is kind of like teaching the vowels and forgetting the rest of the alphabet. What I like to present is the idea that I think out of the box. I love being out of the box. It's more of a playground, a fun, a learning experience than anything else. And if people don't know how to do that, well, then they're welcome to look into my little box and understand that the tools that I use are not just in my little box, but they're outside. That is how we can help so many people think out of the box.
The current Killeen School Board voted to place a $265 million bond on the May ballot. What is your view on the bond, and will you be voting for or against it?
That's an interesting question also. I'm now asked to give my personal view of how I would vote, but it's quite easy because I'm running for a trustee, and trustees are based upon truth for people. I honestly believe in my heart that teachers can teach anywhere. We do not need fancy buildings. And if we're graduating students who cannot read or write or deduct or have logic or any type of responsibility, emotionally short or psychologically short, are we really doing a proper thing? Our goal is education, not the building of buildings. We need nice buildings, but right now we have things that are functional, and we are slipping in relationship to the academics and the educational aspects of Killeen Independent School District. I vote against it because I believe in students. I believe in education. And most of all, I don't think we need a brand new building when we have so many deficiencies in our system that need improvement before a building.
What should KISD do to improve standardized test scores?
The improvement of standardized test scores has been debated and talked about so many times. We can go on the internet and find many variable answers. But the thing is, students are of the impression, and parents are of the impression, that a teacher gives them old standardized tests, and they have them take them, and they grade them, and they evaluate them. And the reality is, students don't know how to take the test. Where is the responsibility? Where is the happiness that the child needs to find? As a teacher, a former teacher, and a teacher of life itself, I have seen children go into complete and total physical meltdown. They have had diarrhea, they have thrown up, they get the shakes, and I have seen denial and absence of responsibility by students falling asleep during the test. How can we overcome this? I've said it before, I stand by it, and if you stop and think, it's a reality. Why do we have 12 years of education and not a single class on how to take a test?
Last question. The Killeen School Board holds many closed-door meetings, including on naming of the new schools. How would you help KISD be more transparent?
Ultimately, the answer is communication. Why is it that the school board has so many closed meetings? A trustee has been trusted by the people who voted them into office to do the right thing. There should be no secrets. We have means of communicating. We have the wonderful newspaper, the Killeen Daily Herald, that can basically help and publish information. We have the ability to get a computer system that's going to contact parents. We have the ability to open the doors, not just through administration, but through teaching and other students to allow proper things. Why do we need to close the door to determine the name of a school? Why do we have to hide so many elements? Because there's only one thing that happens with secrets: the buried treasure, which is our students, and their future will probably be lost. We need to open communication.